So it seems as if Microsoft's mission broaden their spectrum, getting their games out to more audiences is infectious. So now we're down to the wire, right? As we're moving on to the next generation. But before we get to the Xbox 25th anniversary in 2026, Microsoft is conquering screens everywhere. So if certain games are going on certain platforms, which we've already taken L's of everything else besides Sea of Thieves, enter Forza Horizon 5. Will Forza Horizon 5 get more support ever from the PlayStation community? Are PlayStation fans willing to pay top dollar and support Xbox games more than Xbox fans? We just might have to see about that, right, people? We just might have to see about that.
The following is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's show on Di-RRec Gaming. I go by the name of the new legal. I got Spark 117. I got my man Resident Gamer O in the building. I got more comrades coming in tonight as a possibility. But I want to give a shout out to the mighty chat pack community with Talos Reed in the building. He's already here lining himself up. To everybody that makes Di-RRec Gaming international, we want to say thanks to every one of y'all.
What up, Talos?
Yes, sir. To all the members, to everybody who's always been supporting the platform, to people who stepped up, like Resident Gamer O, out of the streets and wanted to be a voice in the Xbox community. We're constantly saluting them. Everybody that's constantly putting it down upon the crown. Shout outs to the Xbox community. We're almost here. We got 2 more years to go. Well, maybe less than 2 years to go, but we're right here. We are on the cusp of our 25th anniversary. Game Pass is just going bananas. There's a huge rumor that Game Pass has already hit 50 million subscribers. I mean, the way you're seeing games hit day one, it makes you wonder. Because listen, what's out right now? E33. E33 is out. That hit a 95 on Metacritic. I think it's down to 93. So when you think about it, and shout outs to Oblivion, Resident Gamer O's avatar right now. 4 million players out the gate. I mean, how can Xbox lose right now, man? How are they going to lose when everything is just going the way it's going? I want people to understand the third-party publishing situation with Xbox is working. It's working. It's not failing, people. It's actually overseeding itself. It's very successful. So now it's going to come down to, are these PlayStation fans willing to be bigger fans than we are for our games? Microsoft, genius. You are so genius, it doesn't even make any sense. Because when there's a famine, when there's a drought, people will receive just about anything. They don't have anything. You are hitting that platform at the very right time more than ever. At the same time, dropping hits, and we're not even halfway through this year. Doom Dark Ages is the next one on the list. But if you've been paying attention, there's a lot of deception. There's a lot of silliness going on, making it seem like as if these games weren't already in the making, as third-party games. They wasn't already in the making of going on multiple platforms. They were already in the making of doing that. Doom has always been on a PlayStation platform. So that's not a big deal. What's a big deal is what's coming later on. Forza Horizon 5 isn't a big deal. Microsoft, I salute you for being bold enough to show the whole world that you have the best racer. You are not scared. No one's going to be able to do what you do because you have the bigger budget. You have the bigger budget and you can afford whatever you do. The other two are showing the whole world that they can't. The future of gaming moving forward is on the shoulders of Xbox, and Xbox is taking it off his shoulders and bench pressing everything. There's nothing stopping it now. There is absolutely nothing stopping it now. You can't pretend you can come out here and make it seem like you're so happy, but we know deep down it bothers you. So you want to play the little, oh, look, we got this game that you guys thought never was going to come over here game. That's what y'all going to play. But if you're so happy about getting 5-year-old games and you're not into buying your remasters, we are really going to see who's going to have the last laugh. And like I said, don't look at me when it happens because Legal never bought a PlayStation. So are you PlayStation fans really, really that hyped up to support more Xbox games than me? Because I got Game Pass Ultimate. I'm not going anywhere. You got me crazy thinking I'm finna go anywhere. Hell no, I'm eating good over here on Xbox. And you want to know something, y'all? It looks like everyone else is happy as well. So we are in an agreement on this. The Xbox games are fun to play, and everybody around the world loves to play Xbox games, which I've been saying. So it shouldn't be hard to understand people are so hyped when they see Xbox games. But what's funny is that Ghost of Yote got about 15 minutes of fame yesterday. 15 minutes of fame where they showed the whole world that this game is going to drop on October the 2nd, which I already feel like the date has already murdered the game. It's already murdered.
Nobody cared about it, Famo. It was like a fart in the wind. Nobody talked about it really that much.
Bro, nobody. See, let me tell you something. On Twitter, X, it's never been real. We've been saying that from the jump. It's a poor reflection, bad reflection over there, man. And this game to not be talked about is getting over talked about by old ass Xbox game, a racer at that, an open world racer is getting more talked about than a PlayStation exclusive generic Shadow Assassin's Creed Shadow generic version. You can't make this up. Like my man Nini said, Expedition 33. That is an incredible feat that Microsoft has done with that game. I haven't started playing it yet. As a matter of fact, me and Resident Gamers going to do something special for y'all. But for a Game Pass day one shadow drop, I wouldn't even say it was a shadow drop because everybody kind of figured it was coming. They already knew it. They had told us. But for this game to come out on Game Pass, as well as this game looks, to get a 95 on Metacritic. Matter of fact, the best way to play this game, listen, don't ever pay attention to none of these articles talking about any of these games being the best place to play, better than an Xbox, especially if it's an Xbox game. Don't even, just laugh at that stuff and go on about your business. But the fact that this game looks that great, this game has voice acting in it. It's not your traditional, MMO style type, RPG style type game. It's not your traditional one. So it's in the Western world, it's going to be a fun game. You just have to understand what I'm saying with that. It's not the Japanese style versions of it. And that's not a knock on a Japanese style version, but I'm trying to let people know the differences. And I think what Microsoft did by dropping this thing in Game Pass was just incredible, man. So, the Xbox community is eating it up. The game is getting eaten up. And another thing, did y'all not see the news on Power World? Power World made a post today, or it might have been yesterday, about the success of Power World being on Xbox, thanks to Xbox. Let me see. Let me read out their post. Let me see if I can see it. What did they say? Yes, right here. It says, thank you so much to Xbox for this amazing, excellent award. Power World was one of the top-selling games on Xbox in 2024. Thank you to all our fans on Xbox who have been so kind to us. We will continue to work hard on bringing even more excitement content to the game soon. And let me tell you something. I know exactly why they're giving us shout-outs to Xbox, because Microsoft probably helped them out in their court situation. And if you ask me, I think Microsoft ought to buy them out. That's my opinion. So as you can see, in 2024, Microsoft with Xbox was already doing major things. This is our second year. Shout out to Xbox. This is our second year, y'all. Shout out to Nini29. Shout out to Box in the building. Shout out to J-Mac in the building. We getting up in here.
That would be a good grab, Famo, but they're going to be, I think they like being independent.
You know what? Even if they go independent, right, and they do work for Xbox, if they do some partnership work, contract work, that'll be great. But I think they got something special for Power World, and I think they just need to continue to build on it, because this thing can just keep on going and keep on going.
They nailed it. Congratulations, Power World. You crushed it. And
they crushed it.
It's a great game.
Amazing game. There's nothing to take away from it. Running independently in parallel with Microsoft, dropping that banger, and over what, 20 million, 30 million?
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane.
Let's slap Pokemon right across their faces.
You know what's great about Pocket Pair too is they actually have started their own funding organization to help indie devs publish their games.
I love what Nini29 just said right here. This is going to be a chat as well. This is going to be a chat pack show tonight, as well as the panel show. So we're going to be reading out some good comments. Box says, when is your X account come back from the temp suspended? It's not my account, Box. It's just a gamer tag. The joke's on them. The joke's is on anybody who thinks otherwise. I'm right here. I'm Di-RRec Gaming, for those that don't know. That's setup stuff, man. We all over the place. I like what Nini29 said. Whoever brings the most value to his consumers will be the next console war. I agree. It's going to come down to some major common sense stuff, man. Major common sense stuff. Major. And I think that the wallet is going to speak for itself. Nintendo's still getting negative press, as it should. That trash stuff that's going on over there is just trash. I mean, you're gonna have people that are going to go out and spend their money on that in the first place anyway. The diehards, all these diehard fans, let them do it. But to the conscious consumer, it don't make no sense. It's gonna be. I don't think that console is going to turn tables like the first one. That's just my opinion. We'll wait to see if I'm wrong. But I think that people's pockets are being more tighter. People are spending their money more wisely right now. And the main attraction that's garnishing the hatred out here on who's doing what is Game Pass. And so, with all the negative hatred in the world, the common sense value of it is winning, and it's still growing. It's still growing. J-Max says, with this article about Xbox approaching 50 million on Game Pass proves that they're flooding the market with games and also poaching new customers. Exactly, bro. Exactly. No one, look, just look around, right? No one's bashing anything. They can't. How can you bash something when you yourself don't have nothing? They're accepting these Xbox games. It is a perfect time. This famine, this drought, it's like what Sarah Bond said. Just like what she said. She didn't hold back on what she was talking about. Anybody that understood what was going on in the industry, she made a bold claim, and it was just phenomenal what she said. And what she says is going to ring bells for years to come because she wasn't playing around when she said this. We are moving full speed ahead on our next generation of hardware. We're focused on the biggest technological leap ever. We are innovating in gaming AI, focused on delivering player first, development first value. There's that word value. We remain committed to bringing forth the amazing library of Xbox games for future generations of players to enjoy. At a time when the gaming industry's growth is flattening, ours continues. That's a big, bold statement. Nobody sounds like that. I got 3 mics for my panel men up here. Resident Gamer, have at it, man. Did Resident go back and get him a beer or something?
What's up, Famo? Were you asked, you want me to talk? You hear me?
Yeah, I'm throwing the mic at you now.
Yeah. I mean, we're not surprised, are we? I mean, I talked about this, not on this show, but on another podcast I was before I joined this one. But this is what Microsoft needed to do, right? This is what the mission they were trying to achieve. This is what they were trying to really make themselves stand apart from the competition. How do you do that? You bring more value. You bring the quality. You bring the services. You bring the whole package, right? You entice customers in ways that the other brands are not enticing them, right? And right now they're making all the right moves. Finally, after how many times they stepped on the rake, they're finally in a good stride, and they're finally getting to that point where they're going to start really separating themselves from the others. And this is a great start. I mean, just this year alone, I mean, look how many games they're coming out with. They kept to their promise of one first-party game every quarter, and they're not only delivering on that, they're over-delivering on that right now. And the way they were talking, the way Matt Booty and I can't remember who else alluded at it, is like there's a lot more to come, and it doesn't look like they're slowing down. It looks like they have things scheduled at least until 2027, 28. And by then they should have their other teams that they just brought on, from ABK and King and all those other publisher companies. They're going to bring those games too. So I don't think it'll ever be a time where they won't be able to deliver on this cadence anymore. I think there might be a little bit slower periods, but this is the kind of thing they need to do. Is they need to bring that kind of Netflix approach, right, where they're bringing not only the value like at a reasonable price, but they're also bringing you high quality content, right? They're bringing you perks, they're bringing you rewards, services, features, smart delivery, quick resume. They're really trying to give you so many things to where it's kind of hard to argue to not get the service, right, or try it. And it's just not only that, it's the variety, right, too, of what they offer, and no one else is offering that right now, in my opinion. But no, this is a great step. It was kind of concerning at first because the numbers weren't growing for a while. It was kind of like a really slow, steady climb. But I think this is the turning point, especially this year. If they continue doing what they're doing right now, I think they're in for a very successful future. I really hope they hit their 100 million mark that they talked about for 2030. That would be amazing. I mean, because I think people really should experience Game Pass, especially if you're a gamer, because not only do you get to essentially try out the games, but you get to play games that you never would have played before because you couldn't justify spending that 20, 30, 40, 50, $60 for whatever game it is, because it's not in your budget, right? You're set on the games that you're safe, the safe bets, right? The ones that you're comfortable, the ones that you're confident is going to give you the value and quality and experience that you want. So I think this is definitely a great step in their directions. I'm so happy that Oblivion's doing well. I feel like Elder Scrolls is a really special title, a really special IP. A lot of people have grown up with it over the years, and even new players too. It's appealing. I mean, because it's just a great game, right? And like, this was a perfect little shadow drop too. Which, by the way, no other company shadow drops like Xbox, and no other company has shadow dropped like Xbox. So that's another thing that they do that I feel makes them stand out from the others. And it's kind of hard to argue that, you know, it's just a phenomenal way to get into gaming, right? Like it's family centric, right? Whereas Nintendo used to be family centric, and what they're doing now is they're basically taking notes from Sony and going Sony's route and just overcharging their customers for everything and giving them the very least amount back in return in different ways. But no, I like the 4 million Oblivion. As you guys saw as well, X-Vision 33 has already sold 200,000, I think, or was it? Yeah, it was like around 200 to 400,000 copies, which I'm really happy for that team. Like, they really deserve it. It's a great game. I just started it. I haven't gotten that far in, but so far my experience with it has been phenomenal. Oblivion's just kind of taken all my time, but you can't deny that right now it's a great time to be an Xbox fan. And I actually, from a long time ago, when Phil first announced the formation of Xbox Game Studios and then the announcement of Game Pass and then the back compat, I felt like that was the beginning, and it was going to take them time to get to the point they are now. And I think a lot of people just failed to understand that. They just wanted it now. They can't wait. You know, like, you know how patient we are as human beings sometimes. But I just felt like this was a slow burn, right? A slow cook. You just needed to wait until it was all marinated and nice and ripe. And this is the time, my fellas. I'm so excited to be a gamer, and Xbox is going in the right direction. And the numbers show that they are going in the right direction. So this is great overall, not just for them, but for gaming as a whole, because we're reaping the rewards, right? And I just hope they continue going this path, and they don't step on the rake, and don't at least not raise prices on Game Pass right now. I think they need to stick to their guns, maybe throw in some bundles, lower their console sales, get themselves to be even more appealing than they are now to consumers, especially now, you know, it's before the holidays. But no, overall though, this is a great move for them, Famo. I would really like to hear Eli, our homie, his take on this, the Eli, real one. I know. I was thinking of your tag. Yeah. That's my bad. But no, Real's Eli take. You know.
I mean, it sounds like, you know, I just joined. It kind of sounds like you guys are talking about Game Pass, you know. But like, we've known that Xbox needed to basically flesh it out. You know, when it first started, it was a concept, you know, and they had, like, you know, Sea of Thieves and State of Decay. But us as Xbox fans, we had an understanding, you know, all the first party games would be there and they would never leave the service. So we signed up, you know what I mean? Especially when they allowed us to convert our gold to Game Pass. So now you see, and Resident, you know, you guys say, like, they step on the rake. Like, how do they step on the rake? Like, what are you comparing them to? Like, because there's a point, like, when I hear people complain or criticize or have a critique for Xbox, and they say that, you know, they didn't have enough or they didn't do enough. I mean, they had 5 studios that were actually putting games out, and you knew that when you bought your console, but then all of a sudden it's not enough. So it's like, what is it that you feel like that they haven't done You know what I mean? If you don't mind my asking, like when you
I
say
think it's
step
more
on the
the
rate,
I think it's more the messaging sometimes when,
ah,
like for example,
yeah,
when they said it was only 4 games and then it ends up being more than 4 games. They say one thing and then they do the opposite, and like people don't understand what they're trying to convey, because if you're hearing a different message every time they're trying to announce or bring about something new that they're doing, people get confused, right? People get frustrated, people get angry, because
yeah,
they're
yeah,
they're
yeah.
not getting a clear answer. They're getting like a runaround, or they're getting like PR speak. That, I guess that's what I'm trying to say by
But you,
step on the rake, is their timing sometimes, the way they do things, just puts them in a bad light when they're trying to climb that mountain, right? And every time they climb that mountain, they say something or they do something opposite of what they're saying, and then they
well,
basically fall back down the mountain a little bit further, and they have to climb back up. I guess that's the way what I'm trying to say.
well, yeah. I mean, you're not the only one with that critique, but uh, I feel like Xbox is too communicative, right? Like, but they are more communicative than the others, right? The Japanese companies don't come out and say much of anything, right? The only time we really hear anything is when they
That's
have to
true.
speak, which is normally at investor meetings when they have to say something. So I know why Xbox does not give clear answers. It bothered me until I said, you know what? I see what they're doing. You got to boil frogs slowly, right? If he laid out the whole plan and they said something like, "Hey, Halo, Gears of Forza, go into PlayStation," do you understand how upset the community would have been? But so now they're easing everybody into it, and I don't know if you're paying attention, but PlayStation's doing the same thing, saying the same thing, pissing their fan base off because they're not just going to come out. They're not coming out to just be plain about how their PC and multiplayer strategy, right? But you got to understand that they say things a certain way because they have to, right? If they just came out and said it, everybody would just be upset. You don't care anything about the largest generational technological leap, that Sarah Barnes talking. You're not, because you're pissed off that these games are going to other platforms, right? But the thing that I see with Xbox, I believe they've always understood it. And when you say that they're competitors, right? You still call Nintendo and Sony their competitors. They're not, right? They can't play the same game that companies that are 30 times smaller than them are playing, right? They need to grow gaming. Think about what Nintendo and Sony are willing to do. They're willing to sit and allow things to stay as they are because they have to. They can't grow the gaming market. They can't get more people to buy consoles. They can't create new gamers like Xbox can. They should. I know Sony can partner, but at some point, since Sony doesn't have enough tech on their own, they're going to be all partnered out. They're going to be splitting money so many different ways that it's not even feasible to continue. So Xbox is moving to find new gamers because the console market isn't growing, which is why I believe Legal wrote that she said that things are flatlined. They've been flatlined for years. You know what I mean? They've been flatlined for at least 20 years. Consoles haven't hit 300 million. You know what I mean? And so Xbox has to look beyond the console. And from Bill Gates, Balmer, it's always been about content. Bill Gates said long ago, content is king. And so if they can't fight the console war the way that they want to, because see, look at the way that PlayStation has had to play the game, and look at what it's doing to them now. Now they don't have first party games coming out with it. They never had a large first party catalog. This is why it always irked me to hear Xbox fans say that PlayStation has all these games and Xbox doesn't. Know PlayStation creates the perception that they have a lot of games by buying games off of other platforms. But going back to Game Pass, now you're starting to see them hit their stride, right? That 4 games per quarter, that was before Bethesda and Activision, right? They had 15 studios at that time. And if you look at it, that if every studio team that they had, because they had 15 studios, but they had a whole bunch of teams. But if those teams got together, each one of them can have a game ready every 5 years. That's 1 game per quarter. But now when you add Activision, their publishing arm, you add, well, you already had, was it World's Edge, which is another marketing arm, Xbox Global Publishing, all of those bring in games. So you're right, they're over delivering. They've under promised, right? They've brought so many games that we don't know what to do. It's to a point to where people are complaining that they brought out Elder Scrolls right next to Claire. What is it, Claire or something?
Expedition 33.
Expedition 33. We're just gonna say that. Yeah, Expedition 33. I keep hearing people say. I keep hearing people say that. Yeah, Claire Obscure. I want to look. I was about to say Claire Monsieur, right? I know it's a French company, right? I said that's not it. But no, look.
Yeah.
When we're seeing,
we love it, boy.
Look, when we're seeing,
your resident is part 117, and when Realist go on, he says a timer.
I said what? I said a timer. What that mean?
You be timing yourself. I got 7 minutes and 15. 7 minutes and 15.
Look here, man. You know,
you killing me, boy.
I've timed you before. You've gone for 30 before, right? With a whole panel of cats.
36.
So look. So what we're starting to see, I'll wrap it up. Is that what you're trying to say? Wrap it up. Hey, look.
No.
You're gonna hit me with the hook like Sandman. Look, you about to hit me with the hook like Sandman. But look, what we're starting to see is Xbox hit their stride with their first party, right? And if you paid attention to the court proceedings during the Activision trials, right? One of the supposed concerns of the regulators was that Microsoft would have so much content that they wouldn't extend offers to third parties. I don't know if y'all paid attention to that, but it's to a point now. You heard that the smaller devs were saying that the Game Pass deals and the Epic deals are drying up, right? But Game Pass, Microsoft's different than Epic, but they're starting to invest more into themselves. Look, I said it years ago, legal. Remember, I said they're looking at what Nintendo's doing. They're looking at what Sony's doing. They're looking at what Google's doing. They're looking at what Apple's doing. Tencent. They're looking at what everybody's doing and trying to implement a piece into their game.
Yes,
so
sir.
Look, Game Pass is hitting its stride, and a big part of it, which is what I'm most proud of as an Xbox fan, is their first party is what's going to fill out their service, because you need this thing to make money, and the more that you have to pay for other people's content, that's less money. That's less money for you. You know what I mean?
That's
and
right.
They have
they said it's costing them like $2 billion a year, right?
Well, I thought it was one, but I could be wrong. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, because I'm starting to hear people say, "Oh, they don't get CDPR, they don't get this, and they don't get that." Right, but the thing is those games don't need a service. You what is that? Is that just me or y'all? Can y'all hear that?
Xbox brand. Hey,
no, I heard that. Yeah.
Look, who's in control over there? Xbox brand. Come in.
Oh, over now.
I totally forgot that my mic was. I forgot my mic was hot, and I'm like walking through the company plant because I just actually spotted you guys were up. So.
Yo,
it was on walkie.
Fact.
Look, he's on an old chirp phone.
Fact.
But look,
we're doing it everywhere. Shout out to Xbox brand not giving a damn. Keep cooking,
look. But no, so this is what we're starting to see, right? We're starting to see a whole bunch of look. Eventually, Game Pass is going to be in a position where people look. A lot of companies or publishers wanted to be on there just to help them get funding, but it's going to be a place where people go because they understand what it really is, which is a marketing arm and a way for them to make money. Because you already have over 40 million people that are going to have access to the game. They're going to at least see the game. And then the people who do play it are going to talk about these games. And with them putting their games on other platforms, you got to understand, I think I said this last week or last time I was on the show. Most of these people on Nintendo, PlayStation, they don't know what the hell a Forza is. Now they do. They don't know what the hell a Gears is, what a Halo is. So how is it that we expect them to just put out a game and then all of a sudden people are just going to flock to Xbox. Because a lot of the things that people complain about, they look at it through the lens of the console war. How can Xbox catch PlayStation? Look, we know exactly how Xbox can catch PlayStation, but I know that it's not good business sense in the short term. In the long term, it can. But again, if they recruit all of the PlayStation's gamers, those are the worst gamers you can recruit. If anything, you want to try to pull people from PC, right? People who are Nintendo went to Nintendo to play Nintendo games. You're gonna have a hard time trying to pull them away. But most of PlayStation's gamers are casual gamers who are there for the mass casual games. So let them stay over there. And guess what? When Forza 6 comes out and it's in Japan, you think they're gonna wait 4 years to play that? I don't think so. If they do put Gears over there, and then Gears E-Day comes out, you think they're gonna wait for that to hit PlayStation? See, people are not thinking long term. They're thinking about right now. How can I shut a pony up on Twitter? You see what I'm saying? But Microsoft is a $1 trillion company. They're paying people millions of dollars to be strategic and make these decisions. And I'm just sitting back and enjoy the ride while I play all these games on Game Pass. Because I pretty much made the decision. I think it's just gonna be Game Pass or bust, because there's really no time for all the other stuff that I've been wasting money on. So, you know, I guess you can pass on the brand, but yeah, that's what we're starting to see. We're starting to see them hit their stride, and we got to look at this thing from a different lens versus trying to say that they need to do something that we're seeing the quote unquote competitors do when they're not even the competition. They've been telling us that for at least 10 years.
Man, good stuff, realist, man. Way to cook, man. All we need now is some sides. But yo, you said it a long time ago, man, that content and services was king, but content was king. You was one of the first people that actually openly said that during a time of darkness, during the ages of the doom and glooming. You remember the doom and glooming period, people? Everybody remember the doom and glooming period. There was like 2 years of doom and gloom. I think it was back between 2021 and 2022, the doom and gloom years. Realist was talking about content. Whoever's going to have the most content is going to be the king. And look today. Look at today, man. It's crazy how there's so much content on Xbox. We can't keep up. I mean, we literally can't keep up, man. And it's the whole notion that Xbox doesn't have games, that's burned away, man.
Yeah, we haven't heard that in a while.
Dead. Yeah, that's so dead that and he said they still doom and gloom.
Yeah, they do doom and gloom, but nobody's taking them seriously.
Yeah, it's not as serious anymore than it was. You know, like, look, that's all for clickbait and stuff, man. That's all for the silliness. I mean, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Some people out here, their retirement money is not paying the bills like it should, so they got to do what they got to do. But I mean,
Legal, can I ask you something real quick?
What's up, brother?
You subscribe to Netflix?
No, but I have Netflix on my phone. I don't know how.
Okay, are you subscribed to any service? Like
I got Netflix. I got
but you don't pay for it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the reason why I asked that is because Xbox doesn't care why you came, right? They just care that you come and you stay. So, like, when we look at, like, I keep want to call it Claire Obscure. Claire Obscure, right? When we keep talking about Claire Obscure and them dropping Oblivion right next to it, that might not have been the game to get people to subscribe, right? But Oblivion might have been, right? Or hell, maybe even Blueprints, right? So as long as they keep the content flowing, right? And so it's gonna eventually get to a point where these churners, these people who engage in the churn, they'll stop because eventually it's gonna be not worth it to just leave it just to come back. So if they keep dropping game after game, especially from first party, because those never leave. It's just like Netflix. People always joke about how they spend more time trying to choose a movie on Netflix than actually watching movies on Netflix.
That's right.
And you'll never be able to consume it all. So eventually you stop watching your subscription, you know, your Rocket Money or whatever it is you're using to help you manage your subscriptions, you'll take it off because it really doesn't make any sense to cancel it to come back later. You're just gonna come back. So that's why they're gonna keep putting these games out. You're gonna see some games. See, because I remember what was that, Halo and Halo and Forza came out right next to each other, and we went back and forth about it. I was like, man, you don't really want to put those games right next to each other. And you were like, nah, it doesn't matter. It's two different groups.
Right.
And I'm starting to see
I
that
remember that.
now.
Yep.
I'm starting to see that now because it really doesn't matter, because Forza might not be why, you know, this 500,000 people subscribed, you know, but it was Halo that made them subscribe, or it was Call of Duty that made them subscribe. And people have been saying, well, it doesn't make any sense to subscribe for Call of Duty. But if a person looks at the proposition that says, I'm going to pay $20 and I'm going to play Call of Duty. But then when you have to go through to find Call of Duty. And then once you see all these things that are available to you, oh, wow, it's more than just Call of Duty here. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people, it just seems like they don't have a lot of foresight or forward. They don't really analyze it. They just talk. Because if Call of Duty might be what brought you there, hell, even Madden, what is it, Madden 24, whatever they got in there now, or FIFA, that might have been the game that brought you in there. Let me try it. Everybody's playing it, but then you end up getting in there, and the game that everybody complained about being woke, then you start playing that. You know what I mean? Because most people they're not in tune like that. They're not watching the DEI grifters talk about it, and they're just playing games and they're just enjoying games. Because this is what people need. And I've been saying this for years. That Xbox and Game Pass are training gamers how to be gamers again. Because all this Fortnite and hell, even Call of Duty, Minecraft, and that's all you play. Yeah, you're playing games, but is that gaming, right? Because when we were gaming, bro, we were at Blockbuster every week. Mama, Daddy, can I get 2 games? Can I get 2 games this time? We were playing games. And we didn't have the access that we have now, that we don't even have the time to utilize. That's what's going on with Game Pass. I can see it coming together. They've always professed to be the Netflix of gaming, and I can see it coming together. And I'm glad that their first party is a huge part of it, because not only because we got games that we know about, right? Like Outer Worlds, Towerborn is on the way. The 2 games from this week just hit the service. Doom's going to be there next month. There's an abundance, and you'll never be able to clear it all. So you're either gonna go pay for it, because eventually, man, these sales aren't gonna happen, right? Eventually, they're gonna stop doing sales. Look, I told you at the beginning of this generation, Nintendo showed PlayStation and Xbox the way. All this discounts, we're not gonna see any more discounts because Nintendo showed them that the market will support them. And so you look at Nintendo, it's still $300. They got a new Switch out, and people are hoping that it goes down. It's still $300. You're looking at PlayStation, they're raising prices. You know what I mean? Xbox, well, listen to people like Boomstick. They should really lower the price down. No, they're not going to lower the price down. Supposedly they're losing $200 a unit. You want them to lose 3 just so they can try to compete in this console war when they have all this content that they're throwing around as they please when they need to? No. You know, so like, the game is changing, you know, and we got to kind of adjust with it. Go ahead, man. Seems like you're unmuted. Go ahead and jump in, bro.
Well, one of the things I've noticed a lot is that people worry about the corporation, as Lord Cog would say, let the corporation corporate, right? Let them do their business. Don't worry about them, whether they're making profit or not. That's not our worry. The worry is, are you playing games? Are you actually going to take and have some engagement with the content that they're bringing you? Just like Netflix. Netflix means shit if you ain't playing or if you ain't watching their material. And that could be any of the material, whether it be a movie that they produced or a movie that they got on there from 21st Century Fox. Doesn't matter. It's about that content. Let them worry about the dollars and cents, and you just continue to stay subscribed. That's the key. Keeping them subscribed with content, and that's what it's been all about. And this year we've seen more games come to Game Pass than in any other time in history that are big names. No other time in history have we seen on Game Pass, it's been around since 2017, have we seen this many big name
Right.
titles.
Yep.
And we haven't even hit July yet, guys.
Nope.
We haven't even hit the
Come
first
on with
month
it,
of
bro.
the second half. We haven't even hit June yet, guys. We are rolling with games. And when that hits, Phil Spencer already said that there is stuff there that nobody even knows about.
brother. Exactly.
So when that happens, we have got so much content to play. It's like Realist said, we are going to be over influxed with games, and maybe the game like Expedition 33. I'd said all along I wasn't going to play it, but I talked to Nico, and he and I are pretty close, and I told him that I would at least give it a try because the music captivated me. It resonated, and so I'm going to give it a run. Whether I like it or not doesn't really matter. It doesn't change anything for what I'm paying. It doesn't change anything. And it may not resonate. And I may just say, I'm going to drop it. But I can go right back to playing what?
No, first of all, I want to say shout out to the chat pack, man. Y'all got me rolling tonight. And y'all been cooking with y'all's comments, man. I'm reading all y'all's comments. It's funny over there, man. But y'all are spitting facts. Xbox brand, man, you killed it, bro. You bounced right off the realist, man. I'm serious. Because both of y'all making great points. And this is what it is, man. Here's the fact of the matter. People are going to get tired of pretending, realist and Xbox brand. That's what you're seeing right now, right? It's phases. I've listened to guys talk about stuff. Me and Realist used to do them spaces. 90% of those people that were doing all that talking in them spaces back then are gone. You don't even hear them talking no more. They're gone because they were pretending. You look at everything that people are trying to do to not show that they're really supporting Xbox. These PlayStation fans, you're not hurting us when you buy an Xbox game. If you come out here and you sit up here and look us down in our faces, right? And we know you're not even buying all these games in the first place. The first report already snitched y'all out. But we know y'all aren't buying all these games in the first place. So you have an opportunity to pick and choose what you want. So you picking and choosing, and you're coming out and you trying to report on what Microsoft is doing for you. Good, because you supporting that Xbox game, you're right in the right plan of things. When your mindset is no longer focused on what Sony isn't giving you, which you're proving that now. Y'all are not upset about anything. Y'all been in a drought for 2 years. You get Ghost of Yote, which we already knew that wasn't even on y'all's radar, putting that brag in that bag. Y'all wasn't thrilled about that game. No more than y'all thrilled about Marathon. And let me tell y'all something, man. It's phases, right? The first phase was hate Game Pass with all its passion. Let's say Game Pass isn't sustainable. You had people in leadership roles in the game industry talking bad about Game Pass, and this is why. This is clearly why they were talking bad about it, because they knew whatever platform they was on was not going to be able to compete on it. That's just the bottom line. So I'm going to hate on Game Pass, and I'm going to deceive. I'm going to deceive casual gamer, mindset gamers around the world. Yo, Brent, watch your mic. I know you probably don't know. Watch your mic again. But I'm going to come out here and make bold claims to deceive the feeble mindset gamer and to make people think, oh, support the devs. I don't want to say I don't want to call people stupid. You know what I'm saying? But you can't be that dumb, right? To think that a game that comes on top of a platform, the developers aren't getting paid for that. That's right there is just stupid to think that. If a game is going to be played on a gaming platform, no matter how you slice that pie, the developers are going to get money. That's just the bottom line. Whether you're going to pay, if it's in a service and that service is providing a way for their game to be played, because they see the data, they know games like this are not highly supported. Games like this are highly supported. games like this just fly off the shelf. They got all these games in these different kind of categories, y'all. Majority of the games that are going to be for the future are in the ID at Xbox program. They're in there because Microsoft gets to pull out those games, give it the tools and resources to those developers, and these developers are able to either recreate or create more on what they have in a greater aspect and make that game with their passion in ways that they never thought was possible. They're able to even go back. And then this game is 10 times better than what they thought. And now Microsoft's like, you know what? Now that this game is looking like that, let's put it on Game Pass. Boom. They started lying about Game Pass in the beginning. That was the first phase. Then the second phase was about it ain't going to climb. It's eventually Game Pass will slow down. That was that second phase. Game Pass got around 24 million, and it went in this slow phase for a minute, but it goes back to what Realist and Brand was saying. It was like Netflix. Netflix went through that slow period where there just wasn't enough series to keep you intrigued. So people was kind of like, you know what? I'll take a pause right now. But how Netflix began to blow up is because they started just getting a whole bunch of cornucopia series. You name it, anime to you name it. And they start throwing it in there. They went out and they shopped around. They made some sales. They made some partnerships. They got a whole bunch of stuff on there. And now you get people to come back. And it's like Rose was saying, they literally are not even just watching the whole series. They're more into what Netflix has. They're getting in, they're just scrolling around. You have hundreds of thousands of people who are just scrolling around on Game Pass. And you want to know who those are? Xbox Brand, Realist, Resident Gamer, and Spot 117 and check back. The ones who already have it, like me. I'll open up Game Pass, I'll just scroll around. I'm looking for something to just entice me. So I just, you know what? I never played this game. Let me play it. It's at my leisure convenience. Oh, that's what we're doing. But Microsoft is saying, you know what? We're gonna throw that fishing pole over there. They talk a lot of shit, but watch what happens because they're in a drought. They ain't got shit. Microsoft knows what's going on. Let's throw that little game over there. Let's put 4 games over there. Watch what happens. They scored 1 out of 3. Okay. All right. So let's ante it up. Let's put Forza Horizon 5 over there. And let's see how much they talk about their racer. They ain't talking about their racer. They ain't playing their racer. But guess what? What's going to happen is kind of like what Rilla said. Y'all didn't believe him then. But what's going to happen when the data comes out, if the data comes out, and more PlayStation fans are playing Forza Horizon 5, that shit gonna be funny as hell. And just how much are they willing to prove that they like our games better than us? Listen, I hope that you do. Because those games like Xbox Brand was saying that are not even out yet, you're funding them. I encourage you to buy these Xbox games. Please do, because you're not hurting us. You're making sure that everything that they said about Xbox is a lie when they said Xbox is dead. PlayStation fans are saying that's a lie. Xbox has no games. PlayStation fans are saying that's a lie. Xbox fans ain't got to say nothing. We've been laughing at that stuff. But PlayStation fans are proving that that's all lies. So we're going to see if now they're willing, because Game Pass is here. It's successful. It's stabilized. The Xbox community stabilized it. The PC community stabilized it. It's stabilized. Now, are PlayStation fans going to come out and match their wallet with their mouths? Are they going to now be the ones that tell everybody, you know what? I'm buying this Xbox game. I'm buying this. I don't care what you're pretending about. Oh, look, haha, we got this game. Well, we've been had it. It's just stupid the way you're thinking, but we've been at it. But you can laugh it up. You can even say, oh, look, the Xbox game's over here on the PlayStation console, and it's the best place to play the game. You can say whatever you want. But at the end of the damn day, you are contributing to the future of Xbox. you are making sure that Xbox isn't going anywhere. Look, all these people that are becoming new beginners on Xbox, Microsoft loves you. You're jumping in. You're willing to jump in. This is why, like Brand was saying, like Riz was saying, when they get in there, they start looking at all these games. They don't know what to do. They're skimming all over the place, just going all over the place. That's what's helping the developers. Anytime you open up their game on Game Pass, they get paid, whether you play that game or not. That's already been in the writings. That's already been in the writings. The minute you open it up, that's it. They're just getting checks after checks after check. Look at those games that's been on Game Pass for a while, still being seen. I think Microsoft just kept Lara Croft on there. It was expiring, and Microsoft has the power to say, nope, we're gonna keep it on there. You just can't beat the value of Game Pass. It's the one thing that just cannot be beat. The PlayStation 5 Pro plays PlayStation 4 games the best. What's up, Jago? You just can't beat the value of Game Pass. So while games are coming out for us, we're getting the full benefit. You an Xbox fan, you get full benefit. You a PlayStation fan, pay full price. Go out here and put your money where your mouth is. You the ones that were saying you need to support the devs. I haven't seen Xbox developer studios closing. As a matter of fact, Resident Gamer O, isn't it PlayStation still suffering from closed studios or closed games, canceled games? I'm sorry. There was a PlayStation 6 game, y'all, and you can't even make this up, Jago. You can't make this up. Chat Pack, you cannot make this up. There's a PlayStation 6 game that's already been canceled. And if y'all don't know what I'm talking about, I'll even put it in there for y'all to see this. I'm telling y'all, you can't make this up. Give me 1 second. Let me find this.
That's why Sony's been playing it so safe, is because I think to them, if it's not a safe bet, they don't even want to continue funding it, in my opinion. It could be something different, but I feel like with the way they've been doing things lately, and especially with Jim Ryan's kind of catastrophe because it was a catastrophe for their company. You see it, like the whole pivot to live service with all their studios, like that really put them in a really big bind. And that's why they went and canceled a bunch of them, because they're trying to basically recoup a lot of those costs, or not recoup, but try to stem the bleeding. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Man, Resident, I keep trying to tell you, man, Jimmy had the right idea, man.
Yep.
The
studios don't know how to make those games, though. That's the problem.
Yeah, but they gotta learn. Because when these punk ass Xbox fans was trying to say that Xbox needs to do what PlayStation does, I was like, bro, PlayStation hasn't even given them a multiplayer game yet. We're gonna see what they're made of when they try to do multiplayer. Where Jimmy messed up is when he tried to compete with Microsoft. And when he did his own little Activision, his own version of Activision, that he went to go a lot of fidelity and say that they're going to present the same value at 3.7 or whatever they paid compared to Microsoft at 70 with Activision Blizzard. Look, they needed live service. They still need live service, man. Fortnite is punking them. Minecraft is punking them. Forza is about to punk them. Apex is punking them. Madden is punking them. 2K. And some of these games are punking Microsoft too. Right? But the difference is Microsoft owns 3 of them. You see what I'm saying? It's like they need one of their own. What do they have that makes people come to them? That's theirs. Nothing. They needed that.
Now you say
they needed that. And so the thing that I think, and another thing that they messed up with, the thing that was unique in the market, it could have been unique, I don't know what it was The Last of Us, and they got rid of that. We've got a few Concords already. We've got already. But Factions was something that would have been different. But they needed that. Now, I don't know how Kratos works in a service game. We see how Aloy works in a service game with the Light of Motorum, right? When Light of Motorum comes, it's going to have a huge audience, and that's what Sony really realized. Come on, Brand. I'll shut up and then you come on.
I was just gonna say that.
Let me
Yeah. Finish
okay, go
up
ahead.
on your point, brother.
No, I was just saying that they needed something, and what they learned, what they should have known from the very beginning, is that these games take a lot of time and a lot of money. And you look at a game like Sea of Thieves and how it started and how people were complaining about it, myself included, to what it is today. PlayStation doesn't have that kind of the stick-to-itiveness. All right, Brand.
But there's several titles that they could have gone with a multiplayer front that would have been successful. The Last of Us factions, I think, would have been successful. I think Twisted Metal would have been successful. But what they're looking at, they're wanting to see a big banger that's suddenly just going to draw all the players, like what was their one big one that came out from what was that? But they didn't even make it. It was
Helldivers.
Helldivers 2, right? So Helldivers 2 did a great job of bringing in a lot of players. They're thinking that they can just find that instantaneous success. As you said, Microsoft brought out all these multiplayer games, and a lot of them were just plain crap. If you look at what they were in the beginning, such as Fallout 76, go back to seeing when that thing was in the beginning, right? Very unsuccessful game. That game now has a huge amount of concurrent players. Same as Halo Infinite. They've still got a hefty amount of concurrent players. Microsoft has learned that it's a course of time event, and they have a ton of money to be able to sit on and say, look, we can let that thing cook until it becomes ready. Sony's not ready to take that big dip yet and say, okay, it's going to take probably $300-400 million, and then we'll start to see the recoup. They don't want to see that. They want to see an instantaneous success, and that's possible, but you've got to really somehow resonate with players, because I don't think Marathon's going to do it, but who knows? Maybe that will. I just think that they're too scared right now to take that huge plunge into the market that is a live service game.
They can't afford it either, I don't think.
Well, I mean, they could probably afford it, but they don't have the amount of money to be able to throw out as many as Xbox has and be successful over time. Because if you look at the amount they have, you've got Forza, you've got
Okay, I know Xbox brand probably lost his service, but I'm glad now everybody's now talking about live service games.
yes,
Now I feel like Willis.
live
Go ahead,
service
man.
games.
Come on. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Live service games are the king of the
Well,
game
I'll be
right
damned.
now. That's where everybody wants to be at, right? They all want to hit back on playing these. What did they say? Was it 48% of people? This was by Sony. They said that 48% of them still owned the old console, and all they played was COD and The majority of their players were COD players and Fortnite players, and people playing Madden. That's all they have. These are live service games that thrive on communities of gamers constantly pouring in money. And Sony just doesn't have the staying power. Reminds me a lot of Google and what they did with Stadia. They dropped out of Stadia because they were afraid of seeing too much money was being lost in the forefront, and they were just like, nah, we're done with this. We're not gonna stick with it. And so they dropped it. It's like a bad habit. And that was a bad move. I thought that Stadia could have been something, but they would have had to stick with it. And it would have meant losing some money. And Microsoft did that. They lost money hand over foot for a while, but now they are successful in what their endeavors have been. And now they can start to see the fruit of that tree that they planted a long time ago. And all these gamers are starting to see these games. And I honestly believe in the next 15, 20 years, Sony PlayStation's not going to be the capital of gaming. It's going to be the services. Who has the better service? Who is pouring in all these games to their services? Who is the one that is providing gaming content for all of the players out there? And right now, Microsoft is sitting at over 500 million MAUs a month. That's huge. Yes, we can say that 250 million are people on mobile, but mobile's a thing. Mobile is a part of the industry. You can't just wipe it away and say, wow, it's just mobile. Mobile is king. They have more players than any gaming device out there. Mobile is where it's at. And Microsoft is poised to game on that. And I'm sure there's going to be a Game Pass that's going to somehow come into play with King and all those others, and somehow it's going to all link up. I don't know how that will happen, but I'm sure that's where it'll somewhere be. And Ultimate will be where you have access to all of those platforms. We've seen that you can access your PC. We can see that you can access your game in multiple environments.
I want to say this real quick while you lost connection. I want to say this real quick. Jago6, you on to something, because I didn't know that. I'm gonna read this because this real. I'm gonna look into this. And if Jago, you got confirmation on this in an article or something, please put it in the chat, Pat, bro. He says Sony's UK lawsuit officially starts in 2026. $7 billion. We know about that one, but this got me right here, y'all. Then after that, the other 8 to 10 EU countries are also filing suit against Sony. Damn, dude. Okay, for those that don't understand what he was talking about with the 8 to 10 EU, that's the European Union. The 22 countries that form the European Union. If 8 out of 10 of those are also filing suit for Sony, dude, bro, I didn't even know this, man. Oh, damn. This is new news to me, y'all. Oh,
Yeah,
damn,
they've been busy.
I didn't know about that. Damn. Because, see,
microtransactions. So, yeah.
I didn't even know. See, I'm going to be real. I'm keeping it real. The one that was in California was shocker to me, man. When I found that out, I was like, wait a minute. They see, look, we all know, man, that this gaming media is trash. When it comes to really, getting down to the wire and keeping people on top of things about gaming news, we know they fail horribly at that. The serious stuff that we should be knowing, it doesn't come like that. So when I saw them losing that California one, which it was a few $1 million. I mean, I get it. People's it's only a few $1 million, but it was still about the same thing that's about to happen to the bigger dollar ones. And that EU one for that $7 billion, that ain't nobody gonna be saying, "Oh, that's just $7 billion." But this right here, then after that, yo, yeah, man. Damn, I don't even know what to say, man. Wow,
Maybe
bro.
that's why they canceling games so they can pay their losses.
Exactly, they can't
pay
that's
their
it.
penalties.
I mean, right. This look, when you gotta go to court, you gotta gather up your funds. It's not when you lose that money in court, man. You lose that money, y'all. This ain't no right. This isn't about consolidating your debt credit. You lose that money. Go ahead, Rose. What were you gonna say?
No, I was going to say something. I think I forgot. Well, let me see if I can remember. Because we used to say things, about PlayStation. We're Xbox guys, so it was like, y'all just bots. But man, PlayStation, because I made the joke about them canceling games. PlayStation's been risk averse for a long time. They don't like competing. They don't want to go head up, right? And that's another thing. Look at what Microsoft's doing. See, a lot of people when Saudi said let us compete, he thought he meant, let's go see who can sell the most consoles, right? But now Saudi said, nah, we're going to go take over their platform and make theirs ours. Look, when you had your boy Mikey Barra saying, when does last place dictate terms? Okay, you're still thinking about the console war. You don't understand the real spirit of competition that they're trying to engage in, right? Which is what happens to GT? Does GT have room after Force is finished? Like if they put Motorsport over there, what happens? Because we already know Polyphony already told them that hey, y'all it right now. But luckily we get to operate over here by ourselves. So they haven't been one to compete. They've been risk averse for years, and so them canceling games, I just think that they don't see a winner. I think that they're taking their lumps and they're learning, right? And that what they need to figure out is what one game they need that they can get behind and kind of push out to the forefront. But what they're doing with I don't think they were equipped. All right, so I'm at the agree with Resident. I don't think they're equipped to handle 11 live service games. So it was a bad move. But it's the right idea because they do need a live service hit on their platform, especially since they have the idea that they're going to do a freaking live service exclusive game.
I just can't believe, Realist, that we're talking about live service, man. I can't believe it. Realist knows what I'm talking about. Chat Packs definitely knows what I'm talking about. Spawn 117 knows what I'm talking about. Resident Gamer, he was newer, but now he knows what I'm talking about. But I put the memo out, 2 years ago? Put the memo out 2 years ago. I said, look, man, it's coming down to live service games. Because once that I saw the checkmate, once ABK deal was over with, once we found out that it was Call of Duty all along, one game. See, don't let donkeys confuse y'all. It's okay. Let donkeys be donkeys. Let them be stupid out here. They're in their pretending mode. This is the pretending phase. They, like Realist would say, they see the writing on the wall. Come on, man. Di-RRec Game is going to walk y'all to the water, man. I told y'all, we're going to be here look, we're going to bring them right to the water. Y'all going to remember Di-RRec Gaming, man. We having fun. We see this without binoculars. We see this without the telescope. We told y'all years ahead of time, get prepared for this. This is going to be some funny shit when it goes down. Funny shit. Listen, everything is going to flip. You're going to see the media flip. You're going to see the influencers flip. You're going to see everybody flip because they have to. The industry, things are set up to go to the victor. That's how it is. The reason why you always heard about lame-ass PlayStation, and they even know it's lame. Look, you're not hearing not one person talk about PlayStation Plus. Nobody cares about the damn service. So they're weak there. You ain't hearing nobody talking about exclusive games anymore with PlayStation because they're weak there. Nobody's talking about the magnificent console of PlayStation because it's weak there. That's why. So what they do, these owners, right, of the industry, everybody's got their piece of the pie that plays into the industry. They have PlayStations. And let me tell you something. They didn't even want to tell you what the checkmate was. They wasn't even thinking like this because they were so in tune on just the mindshare PlayStation. But somebody had to tell the truth. It was all about the live service games. You have to keep a couple of them because why? They stay on 24 hours, 307 days a week, 365 days a year. You think Fortnite sleeps? Fortnite don't sleep. You think Madden sleeps? You think Halo Infinite sleeps? You think NBA 2K sleeps? My son in his room right now playing NBA 2K. It don't sleep. Those types of games, Roblox don't sleep. Rainbow Siege don't sleep. Look, people can say what they want to say about Ubisoft. I laugh. I said, well, they got Rainbow Siege. They ain't going nowhere. Rainbow Siege up fun all their games. Ain't going nowhere. Now, you look at Minecraft. Minecraft just became the most popular game. Popular. I'm talking about there's only one that can beat it. There's only one that can beat it. No last event. PlayStation better come out with a new one, but I'll try not to laugh back. That helps it, man. Facts. Yeah, I mean, seriously. No, seriously. They better do something, right? Hey, they're already doing remasters, so they might as well bring out a new Walkman, right? That's funny, dude. That's funny, last event. But look, when you think about it, damn, I almost lost my train of thought. But when you think about it, Damn, man, I think I'm losing my train of thought, man. Games Trailers, what's good, famo? Come on in if you can. Oh, he said,
What up,
sorry,
Games?
you guys are killing it. Hey, salute to our comrade, Game Trailers in the building. Look, you can play it on my Walkman. No, look, what was I? When you think about how the live service games are set up, right? All you need is one. You just need one successful one. So that's why Helldivers 2, when we said it ain't gonna work, because when the PlayStation community abandoned, we saw that. I said, the problem is it's their own base. It's nobody else. And I was right. It's not the PC community. It ain't the Xbox, because we want Helldivers 2. I told y'all I see Helldivers 2 coming in the future. Sony, listen, it's the inevitable. You can play it off all you want to, but the numbers don't lie. You went from 450,000 to only 38,000. You know what? Let's look and see what it is right now. I just want to be real. I don't want to be throwing no fake stuff up. I looked at it a while ago. So let's just look at it. Helldivers 2 player count. All right, Steam charts. Here we go. Damn, it went down. So I wanted to be accurate. It went down. Okay, so it's lost another 7,000. I was saying 38,000 a while ago, but I was wrong. It's 31,000 now. 31,763. It was at the peak hour in the last 24 hours, only 33,000. So it's going down. Now, it was at 18,000 before, but people. Listen, you got new people coming on, Helldivers, get friends, whatever. But this thing is nothing like it was when it came out. All-time peak, 458,208, like I said. That's a drastic fall. Now, Sony is so egotistic that it saw a 420-something thousand dip. And they won't just spread the love. They won't just say, you know what, let's put it on many screens as we can. They want to hold on to this egotistic, non-working value strategy and say, you know what, let's just keep it on PC. But look, man, when you drop that much and it's clear that PC's holding you up, that's not a good look for your base, your console base. It's not a good look. But you only need one. So right now, Helldivers 2 is the only thing going. Now, are those numbers right there big enough to sustain anything? No, it's not. That's the problem. It's not dead. 33,000, it's a lot of people. It's not dead, but you want to be over the 100,000 mark. You want to have a stabilized over 100,000 mark, 150,000 at least. I mean, you're cooking if you're doing that. Minecraft guarantees Microsoft that. Call of Duty guarantees Microsoft that. Candy Crush guarantees Microsoft that. Come on, y'all. Just guaranteeing it. Halo guaranteeing it. It's the Microsoft has enough stability. Then you look over there on Nintendo. They got Animal Crossing. Stability. They got the partnership with Pokemon. Stability. Hundreds of millions. Well, not hundreds of millions, but hundreds of thousands. I think they might be even in the million. For the Pokemon. I'm not sure. Don't quote me. Don't get me wrong. But clear over the 100,000 mark. Clearly. So you got stability. You got PC with the Dotas and all of that. Warcraft and all that stuff. Stability. Age of Empire. Microsoft. Oh, Age of Empire. I'm sorry. Listen, Microsoft got tons. Legacy titles of it. Tons. They're not worried. They're walking in the next gen with no effort. They're lazy going in the next gen and claiming that they're leaping the generation. Walking in there like it's nothing. You know what? As a matter of fact, Microsoft doesn't even have to reach for the door to open. They got ushers that hurry up and beat Microsoft and say, hold on, let us open the door for you. That's how Microsoft is walking in. PlayStation, you got what? 2 more years. You got 2 more years. And you know what? I'm gonna put this up. I'm gonna keep this up. I'm thinking I'm gonna keep this up because this one was a shocker to me. But I'm gonna say this because it's funny, right? The word live service has come home to the new legal. It has come home. While everybody else wanted to play games with y'all, look at that shit. Live service games is a must now for PlayStation. Damn, I'm right on time because most of the real shit is always late. We're right on time. So I give you 2 more years. You got to do something. So that brings up Marathon. What are we doing out here, people? Huh? Line them up. Bring them to the sacrificial table. Let's give it to the gaming guys. The gaming guys are asking for something to be sacrificed. We're bringing up Marathon. It's in a closed beta form, so we had to watch some people on YouTube play the damn game. Kind of funny, graced my YouTube screen, and I checked it out. I was shocked. I was like, what? Oh, they're playing Marathon? So I went in there and looked at that game. Look, man, y'all know how I'm going to do it. I'm going to cut it short. I'm going to be honest with y'all, man. The game looks like dog shit. That's not because it's a PlayStation game. Let me kill that off real quick. You know, for people who think we're just blunt haters. Look, bro, look. Just because I don't like PlayStation don't make us blunt haters. So I'll just do this to ease people's anger. Ghost of Yotei is a nice looking game. It just looks like a generic ass Assassin's Creed Shadows. It looks borrowed. It looks copied. It looks just like a classical PlayStation game. That's what it looks like. Copy and paste. Copy and paste. That's it. That's all. Same type of shit. Same theory. Same. Come on. It's right there. But Ghost of Yotei looks real good for a PlayStation 5 game. So now you can see that I can say that. Let's get back to Marathon because Marathon's going to catch all this smoke. What I saw yesterday was so laughable because I saw, this is what's funny. I saw 3 people who did their best personification of trying to act like a game was so exciting that you could see the fakeness. You could the fakeness was just ever clear. You don't even have nobody on the screen, bro. And I put the video clip up on Twitter X. It's up there for anybody to touch it. If the video is still up, I don't know. But if you watch that Marathon shit, kind of funny. It's kind of funny. I mean, let's start with the guns. What are we doing here? Are we trying to be serious with this game? Or is it all about the fruity pebbles in this game? I don't know. What are we trying to do? But all I can say is this. All I can say is this, Last of X, and I'm being serious when I say this, man. Kind of funny made it clear to why multiplayer games are not on PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5 or PlayStation 3 had them. But PlayStation 4 really didn't, it was dead on PlayStation 4. And PlayStation 5, they're nowhere to be found. But there's a reason. Because when you watch how they play, it's clear how PlayStation fans just don't know how to play multiplayer games. The shooting aspect of that game looks so damn slow, bro. It looks slow. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm gonna give it all the smoke because it deserves the smoke. It don't deserve. Why does everybody else have to pretend about shit? I'm not here to pretend. I'm looking at it. I saw it. Okay. Oh well, you ain't playing. Listen, I'm looking at. You're presenting the game. Look, when I'm playing Assassin's Creed on my channel, right, through my Elgato card, right, and I go live. There's a reason why I go live for certain kind of games because I know people want to know how this game is looking, how this game is performing. You see what I'm saying? And so when you go live and you're playing the oh shit, I got something to watch tonight on the NBA. Yes, sir. Somebody just went 2-1. Hell yeah, I ain't gonna say nothing because I don't want to make one of my comrades upset. Because I know he's a fan of I know he's a fan. I'm not gonna say nothing. But But I saw it.
I already know what it is.
Yeah,
That's the only reason why you would celebrate.
Hey, look, I got YouTube highlights to look at, but look, realist, I saw it, and I'm being dead honest with everybody here. I'm not playing around. I'm not. Okay, Jago6 said this.
I think people need to real. Oh, my bad. Go ahead, family.
You know what? Right when I get through saying it, say that, all right? Because I'm giving it all its smoke. I thought y'all would have saw it. That's why I put the video up so y'all would look at it. But I'm gonna say this real quick. Resident, chime on in, and I'm gonna go back to Marathon. J-Tech, perfect example. Playing Doom was hilarious. He would get decimated in an online multiplayer game. Exactly. He he put it up there for everybody to see just how trash he is. Just how trash. It's like they don't even understand. So and here's the comedy. Y'all ready for the comedy? Oh, Gears of War is coming to play. Bro, listen, I told y'all, bring that, put that galactic legendary game on PlayStation. Put it on there. Because Sony ain't gonna dictate no cross. Oh, we can't do, you ain't getting it if you don't open up the crossplay aspect. Bring their weak asses on over here, jump them on in so we can decimate them. Decimate them so we can get live screens up, show y'all just how trash these clowns are when it comes to multiplayer games. Go ahead, Resident Gamer, because I ain't done with Marathon. Go ahead.
I think people forget, or they don't know, or maybe they just don't see that the Bungie of the Halo glory days is no longer the Bungie now. Like they're completely different. They've lost a lot of those devs or those leaders. So it's not the same company. And like people keep thinking that they're going to keep pulling out these god tier game, like these home runs, these touchdowns, and they're not. And like you saw it, like if you paid close attention from the start of when they came out with Destiny up until now, like you just seem like they've kind of just gone little by little down, like this is steady decline. And like, I don't want to say, I would say quality and just everything, like in terms of what they're delivering their fans during that whole spout. Like, look how long the periods they were taking just to come out with more content for Destiny. It just seemed like, they were really kind of learning a lot and trying to get themselves a better understanding of how live service works. I mean, Halo was a multiplayer game, but it wasn't a live service game initially. So they didn't really have any experience, and they got a hit with Destiny. They kind of made it work, but I feel like it had so much more potential than what they were able to deliver it on. Like, I feel like Destiny could have been a lot better game had they potentially had better leadership, or like the quality of the devs didn't go down, in my opinion. And not just that, but I mean, there's other factors as well. But I just don't know what people are seeing in this company, because like they've shown time and time again that they're not that same company that they used to make the great games. Like, and now we're seeing with Marathon, like, I don't know if this is also a pressure from Sony as well, maybe with the budget constraints, like they weren't able to go all out on the graphical artistic designs of the characters and the guns, and maybe they had to go on a lighter palette. They had to think of ways to cut the budget or cut the costs of the development time, because I don't know how long Marathon's been in development, but Sony just spent like almost $4 billion on them. So and they haven't paid them off yet, and it doesn't seem like so far it's been a great investment. I mean, if I was Sony and I looked at the track record of them so far ever since acquiring them, I would be severely disappointed. I wouldn't be surprised if Marathon doesn't do well, if they cut half of the workforce, or they pull what they did like the last time, or they completely canceled it like Concord. Like, that's why people are saying Concord 2.0, because people are smart, right? Like, they've caught on to what is a successful live service game, what is not, what is fun, what is engaging, what is not. And if we're hearing from people who are very enthusiastic about the game that it's not what they thought it would be, or it's disappointing, or it's average at best, I mean, that's not a good sign. I mean, especially for the hardcore base of Bungie fans. So, I mean, for casual fans as well. But what I'm trying to say is clearly they haven't proven themselves in a long time, and people need to stop holding on to that Willy Wonka ticket, you know, that faith that they're going to turn it around, because clearly they still haven't. So I just don't see this ending well for them, and I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think Sony would close the studio now because they invested too much money into them, but they would definitely take a huge hit if this doesn't pull off the way they want it to. And if I were Sony, I just don't see how this has been a great business decision so far. I mean, I would be pretty pissed off, especially, you know, because they really can't afford. I mean, I know I keep saying that, but what I'm trying to say by that is they can't keep spending money the way they are, and they can't keep funding these developers, these companies, if they're not delivering on their games and giving them a return and profit. So to them, this is a big, huge risk and investment, and they really need Marathon to deliver on what Bungie promises. Otherwise, this is bad news, not just for Bungie, but this is going to hurt Sony even more than they are now, especially not even counting the lawsuits. But yeah, that's just my take on it.
No, man, you said something about these investors, because it's definitely looking like they're being rushed now. It's definitely looking like, hey, you need to get this game on out. You need to do something. Because when we look, let's just keep it real. When Marathon was talked about years ago, right? It really wasn't that much revelation about it. And it just went dormant. It got the same treatment as Concord, just about. But they realized that's not going to be a good idea. So what it looks like is, no, y'all going to start coming out here talking about it. These investors are like, I'm not saying this is exactly what's going on, y'all. I'm just speaking a possibility. What it looks like now that they saw that didn't work for Concord, right? They're not going to do the same thing again. So we're going to come out here. We're going to get some alpha beta, because they saw the negative press. They saw the negative reaction, not just from other gamers across the board, but from their own community. And no, this is a PlayStation game that's coming to Xbox. That's another thing. You don't hear no articles out here putting down flagpoles to let people know that, you know, listen, Sony's a third-party publisher just as Microsoft is. You're not going to see that. No. We're going to play it off, Last of Us X, like this game ain't a Sony game coming over to Xbox as a third-party contractual game to be over here on our Xbox to play along with it. They're going to charge $40. Like, I'm sitting up here saying to myself, do they not know that we're Game Pass gamers? Like, why would we pay $40 for a weak ass game? Like, look, man, I saw the game, y'all. I saw the game. That's what was wild. You guys are overreacting. They got Concord remastered and Concord 2 to look forward to. Exactly. What's up, Rangy 4? Look, they can't afford to make the same mistake twice, y'all. Jago, I'm still looking for that article. I don't want nobody out here thinking that you frauding on that. That's the first time I've ever heard about the other countries. Because if I see that, man, you are definitely right, and that's worrisome. Look, we're not, listen, like I said before, we're not here rooting on the demise of PlayStation. We know that there's gamers that love that console, that weak-ass console. There's gamers that love that weak-ass console. And I'm not here to pass judgment on them and to say, well, you know what, PlayStation needs to go bye-bye. I'm not goofy like that. But I'm not going to sit up here and pretend for y'all. But if what Jago said is true, oh man, bro, it's not looking good for Sony. looking rangy for. See, look, some of us, they're not gonna be able to point their finger at us, rangy for. Like I said, when he says F Sony, he means it. This ain't no half-breed shit. Rangy 4 ain't running around with a PlayStation tucked in his backpack somewhere. I just want everybody to understand that. Sony's been shafting you. You've been supporting it blindly. And if there's more countries that are going to line up and sue Sony, this is not going to look good, bro. That's actually so new news to me, man. That's really worrisome right there, bro. Because you're talking, it's already 7.9 billion just off the first one. So who's to say they don't sue for billions as well? This is crazy. Nene, I put this on everything, bro. They were literally beta testing that game. He says beta testing for a Play-Doh looking game. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all think the guy over here is just clowning, hating, just saying some stuff, but he's exactly right, man. I didn't understand even how the characters look. They look goofy. Like one guy looks like he has a TV for a head. I'm like, damn, what is that, bro? Like their uniforms that don't even look right. The guns are all Fruity Pebbles, man. I'm like, who won? The game is just, I don't know, y'all. Look, they were walking around doing way too much talking, right? No, Sony's been playing. They have, bro. Look, man, they've been shafting them for over 10 years. The lady said that. She said, we're just not going to go back 10. We got enough with 6 reign. They stopped at 6 because they was like, look, we got enough. I mean, we probably could go back 10 years. So when you think about that, you're talking about shafting since 2015, 2014, a possible 2013. But this shit's crazy. That's right, Jago, with no Vaseline, bro. And they've been sitting up here pom-pomming for a company that's been stealing from them. Look, there is a time when you say ignorance. Ignorance is bliss, man. In this case, this ain't ignorance. I mean, a lot. That's in articles about this thing being sued. So I mean, there are going to be some casualties of ignorance. But for those who know and just don't care, I'm gonna say it on Di-RRec Gaming. For those PlayStation fans that know about the lawsuits and they don't care, I have no sympathy for you in the end. I have no sympathy for you. You're ignorant. No, you're not ignorant. You're stupid as hell. The ignorant PlayStation fan, we don't hold accountable because not everybody's sitting on the internet looking up gamer news. They're not doing that. So, you know, and it's not like you walk outside and somebody's actually talking about, oh, Sony's getting sued. So, no, to the real ignorant gamer, we're not talking about them. But for those who are pretending, because this is the era right now, you in the period of pretenders, y'all. Everybody wants to pretend because everybody does not want to face the fact that in another 2 years, Microsoft is taking over the gaming market. Said that 2-3 years ago. We got the article out. The professional analysts have already predicted Xbox. They said it in 2026. I'm going to go ahead and give it another year. I'm going to give it 2027 and beyond. But just put it like this. Basically, they put a date on it, but basically it's the future. The future of gaming moving forward, it's going to be about Xbox. Your PlayStation timer is running out. I'm just here to let donkeys know that. They don't like listening to the truth. That's why they rather go off somewhere and listen to a bunch of bullshit every day. They just like to listen to bullshit. But this is why Di-RRec Gaming exists. Because when that shit happens, oh man, we definitely are not taking any casualties, bro. Not one. We're coming out, man. All you liars, you gotta pay the price for lying all these years, man. We gotta let it be known. You wanted to be a jokester. You wanted to lead the crowd in the wrong way. You didn't want to uplift that crowd in truth and let them know what's gonna happen. You said, nah, let them bleed out. Let them bleed out. Let them bleed out. We'll put some smoke grenades on them and let them bleed out. Because I'm telling y'all right now, man, it's gonna happen. I can't believe how garbage Marathon looks. And they're trying to, and they know it is. They see it, all the bad press. Instead of saying, let's take it back, let's do something, or as the community, you look, the beta, if you close in the beta, look, that shows me that you're scared of it in the first place. Have an open beta, let everybody go in there and assess the game. you got enough bad press on it. You might as well just open beta it, give out codes, let people know how to get in, where to go, where they can put their code in, play the game, let it be open for YouTube. You want to get as many YouTubers out there with all the mixed reviews possible. But the fact that you are paying attention to this game, I have to be resident on this one. The fact that you got to pay attention to this game, the fact that you had to create a beta for it, testing session based, that's what's going on. That's telling me the seriousness of this game not to fail. That's what it's telling me. It's not telling me, oh, this game is hot. It's telling me that there's a fear for this game not succeeding. And you're trying to do everything you can. So you're going to bribe YouTubers. You're going to bribe these so-called open handers. So you're going to bribe them by thousands. Say, hey, take that game and play it, show it to the world, let them know you're playing it. But the game looks like dog shit. We're not hating. It looks like dog shit. Look, there was no action. And I'm letting y'all know this. You can go on YouTube right now. If the videos are still open, go look at some of your favorite YouTubers, and they might have it. They might have it, but I know Kind of Funny had it. I didn't look back to see if it's still up and running, but Kind of Funny was running it, okay? And I was like, is there anybody on the screen? You're walking around like you don't even have to watch yourself, man. You stop and you're looking up the map, and there's no concern there because there's no action. There's nobody shooting at you. These guys were in the open doing this shit. Like, oh, let's look at the map. They're talking, being goofy, giggling and shit. Grown-ass men want to sing and shit, do all this weirdo shit, man. And then I'm sitting up here trying to look at the gameplay, and I'm like, man, is it moving that slow? Like, it was moving slow on my screen. All right. So I asked the question, I didn't get no response back, but I was like, the game looks real slow. I don't think I talked about how bad it looked. I might have done that after the fact, but I was literally stunned at all the pretending about this game.
Did the IGN guys look like they were having fun with it, Famo?
You know that. I mean, you talking about the not IGN, but the Kind of Funny, dude. Look,
how were their reactions? Were they trying to pretend it off or what?
Yeah, they won't. I guess the perception that we as gamers can't tell when somebody's really genuinely having fun at a game. I promise you, man. Like, it's bad, bro. That's what I was looking at. I was looking at them like, I'm not getting any kind of excitement from them. And they were hosting the show. Because you're looking at it, Resident. I mean, you're looking at it. You're like, damn, they're going around picking up shit off a shelf or something. They go to the map. There's I mean, they have all this free time. And they're walking around. They're literally walking around. Sorry about that. Will Realist lost connection. He on the road. So he probably in an area where they lost connection. Brand too, where Brand was in the building. For all those that wanted to know what happened to Brand, he's in the building. They probably still working right now. But look at last, was it? Facts, famo. The paper trail is there, and I'm gonna read this off because I don't know why people want to act like there's no paper trail, but here's the paper trail. Last Bazek says, nah, I'm telling you, y'all tripping. They can do Foam Stars re-up and they winning again. Exactly. When Foam Stars came out, they should immediately close that game. But the ego of Sony, we're going to keep it there. And wasn't Foam Stars, was it free? No, it wasn't even free to play, right? Hold on. Y'all been
I'm not sure.
Foam Stars price. Oh, I'll be damned. $30 damn for that piece of shit. $30. See what I'm saying? Look, listen, y'all. $30. when you can play Call of Duty, the Vault Edition for that? Marathon, you insulted my intelligence as a gamer. You want me to pay $10 more? See, to the Xbox fan, we got the Vault Edition, the Call of Duty Vault Edition for $30. Battle Pass and all, $30. Y'all want to know how much that game costs without Game Pass? $130. You want to know what Microsoft did for us Xbox fans? They took $100 off. You think Xbox fans are going to go buy a $40 game that gives you no incentive of nothing? What are we doing here? I'm being serious, y'all. What are we doing here? I looked at that game. There's nobody that can tell me that that game looks phenomenal, that that game plays off the chart. There's nobody. I watched it. There's no real excitement for that game, and nobody's asking for it. So when you want to play with the gamer. You want to. I don't know what it is. You know, I know how sometimes developers can be handcuffed. So I get it. I'm not blaming the developers, right? But Resident broke down Bungie, and he's right. The people in chat broke down Bungie, and they was right. This ain't the same Bungie. You're messing up the name Bungie. You're eventually just get rid of Bungie, get rid of the name, because you're tarnishing the legacy of Bungie. And it's getting bad out here because I don't see Marathon lasting at all. $40 for that piece of shit. And we over here paid $30 for the Call of Duty Vault Edition. And you can't make this stuff up. And that's as clear as day between Xbox benefits and PlayStation benefits. That's it. That's clear as day. So for PlayStation fans, like Rilla said, soon y'all gonna get real quiet. That's the next phase. That's the realization phase. See, right now you're pretending. You see the writing on the wall. Oh, we got Forza. Nobody gives a shit that you got Forza. Nobody gives a shit that you got Forza. Oh, we getting Doom. You been had Doom, dummy. Doom's been on PlayStation. Stupid. You're not doing anything to us. You ain't got a Valve. You ain't got Starfield. You ain't got South of Midnight. Stop acting like you got all these Xbox games. Y'all ain't got none of those shits. Y'all ain't paying for your games. Who cares what y'all do? Y'all ain't even a threat out here. PlayStation's trying to figure out how to get you to buy games. They're selling games dirt cheap and y'all still ain't supporting them. Damn. The marathons will be $40. Let's see what y'all do now. $40. Took $30 off. Y'all say y'all gonna support the devs? You lied. You're not paying $70 for shit. Well, Sony dropped down $30. See if y'all gonna buy that marathon. Build your community. We're telling you how to do it. Y'all don't even know how to build a community. You know what y'all build a community off of? Star Wars girls. Y'all got the Star Wars girls out here on Twitter X, running around as characters of Star Wars. That's the community y'all build up. While your real gaming community you got Star Wars girls. Dude with a big ass damn fifth head. His hairline on the middle of his damn head with eye piercings. Are you serious, dude? Really? We see you. Really? Probably the rest of your sisters look just like you too. That's why they hide behind these characters, these little DC characters. You look Star Wars. Look at doofus as hell, bro. Out here trying to get damn people's. My account didn't even get messed up by a donkey. I got hacked, people. I simply got hacked. It happens to people. That's what happens. That's what happened. It happens. It's not life or death. It was just a gamer tag account for the whole crew. We all used it. The new legal account was disposable. It wasn't a big deal. Who cares? Well, we wasn't on Twitter. We was not on Twitter because Twitter was our life. Come on, man. Like, we represent gaming. I'm over here trying to beat Assassin's Creed Shadows. I'm not worrying about a Twitter account. Why you think Resident Gamer has about 4 damn accounts now? You can't get rid of them. We're on a whole other gaming scale. Don't let us come out here really and start embarrassing people. We're good guys, man. You don't want to provoke us. We already see what these dudes look like. We've already heard what these dudes sound like. Do we need to go get the videos? Come on and laugh some more. These dudes sound like mice. They sound like little Timmy the mouse. Fuck out of here. Dudes sound like they got their balls chopped off. Walk around with no nuts in their underwear, bro. Come on now. What are we doing out here? Marathons trash. You got the Star Wars girls out here. Go build you a damn community, man. A real gaming community. Get together. Go snatch up Day-Dub. Tell J-Dub, shut the fuck up. Get off to the X, man. We're going to go over here and make a good, great gaming community. But y'all too fucking dumb to do that. Y'all want to keep coming over here telling us how many console sales PlayStation 5 has got. Y'all want to keep wasting your time with us. But Xbox just keep dropping games for everybody. Like I told you, dummies, the one who gives is the greatest. It's better to give than it is to receive. Don't let any of these doofuses out here deceive y'all into thinking that what Microsoft doing is a weak move. It's not a weak move. That's how you build. You can't build being inside a kennel. You pups are in a kennel. Sony got y'all in a kennel. They don't even put y'all in the front yard, and y'all fenced in. They don't even let y'all out to roam around the fence. Y'all in the kennel inside the house. Get any game that's like a multiplayer game aspect. Y'all don't even know how to play the shit. Look at it. You can go look it up. Go look at them, bro. They don't even. It's like you said, like J-Tech. These dudes don't know how to play games like this. They don't know how to play community games like this. They don't. Anybody can get up and play a sport game. They made MLB, of course. MLB, Madden, come on. 2K, come on. FIFA, whatever. We talking about shooters. Y'all can't be over here pretending to be like Xbox fans, grabbing your guns, talking about, come on. Y'all had Call of Duty. We had Call of Duty. Everybody had Call of Duty, but Call of Duty was birthed on Xbox for a reason. It wasn't birthed on PlayStation for a reason. It was battle tested and tried over here, as it should be, as should any real shooter. Any real shooter should come to Xbox and get battle tested for. Why PUBG is so great? Why Fortnite is so great? Because it was battle tested first when it came to the console on Xbox. Anybody in their right damn mind wouldn't put no shooter on PlayStation. Ask Cliffy B. Ask Vince Patella. Right? Put Titanfall 2 over there, and we saw what happened to it. Lawbreakers, we saw what happened to it. Concord, we saw what happened to it. Then y'all had the nerve to put a Lego game over there, Lego Horizon Adventures on Nintendo, and the Nintendo fans didn't even want that dog shit. So let's put a little respect on Nintendo fans. They're like, look, we like to play these little animated games. We like Mario. We like jumping on Goombas, but don't insult our integrity with that bullshit. Get that shit out of here. Y'all can play dumb for Sony all you want to. If Jago6 comment is correct, y'all in some deep ass trouble. If this comment right here is correct, I'm gonna find it. If this right here is correct, y'all in some deep shit. And this thing starts. It's crazy because y'all just look at this, man. The $7.9 billion lawsuit starts the same year of the 25th anniversary of Xbox. You can't make this shit up. Y'all gonna be expecting games to be dropping in 2026? They already told you about one. They done pushed that off the map. They said it ain't gonna be ready. It ain't even coming out on the PlayStation 5. They already told you that. Are these PlayStation fans willing to pay top dollar for these Xbox games? Because we ain't. Are they gonna show us how to do it? Only time will tell. Only time will tell. Spar117, I don't know if he's playing his Xbox, but if he's there, let them know where they can find you at, fam. If not, I'll tell them. Yeah, Spar117 smoking a spliff up there in California. He's taking a break. He's probably doing something, man. I don't know, playing on his Xbox, whatever.
Oh, I was just grabbing a drink. I'm right here. I'm right.
I told you. I know, but let them know where they can find you at, Spartan.
Right here on Di-RRec Gaming. Nowhere else but here.
Yo, Resident Gamer, let them know where they can find you at, bro.
You can find me on here. You can find me on Twitter at Desert Gamer.
The realest one. Let them know where they can find you at, bro.
Find me on Di-RRec Gaming with a 7-minute and 15-second timer.
Hell yeah. Hey, shout out to Xbox Brand who came in here while he was in his building, walking around at work. I'm assuming he was at work, but did it nice, man, at work. He did it anyway. He came on in here. Shouts to Game Traders that popped up to let us know he couldn't make it, but he was in the chat pack, bigging us up. Shouts to the Mighty chat pack. Shouts to everybody that came out, man. All of y'all, bro. All of y'all. Special shout out to international members like my man Bonte, all the way out of Jamaica, man. The Jamaica Nini 29, Talos Reed. We didn't see Donut tonight. Shout out to him. We see Remake Station 5 dropping them jewels like he always does. My man 30 Below putting out that sub-zero temperature out on these haters, man. We had DC Legend in the building today, man. Shout out to DC Legend, man. Shout out to everybody that came through. Seriously, Jay Rich in the building, dropping jewels like he always does, man. It's a lot of y'all that came through here. I know I didn't want to miss anybody. Talos Reed in the building, as usual. The Last of X had us laughing tonight. Jago6 always dropping some jewels. My man Ray G4, the AT Alien in the building. Nothing but love, man. I want to say thanks to y'all for supporting, man. Y'all know how we are, man. And to everybody else that was either shadow listening or going to watch shows after this live show, people that leave comments in the comment section, we just always want to say this, man. Look, if you're new to this program, if you're new to the channel, if you're new to the ways we get down, and you're an Xbox fan, you like how we represent, subscribe to the channel, make yourself at home, kick back and grab some popcorn. Join the Mighty Chat Pack community, man. These are some excellent guys over here. They support many underground channels as well. A lot of them we are accustomed to, but some come in, they might be new. But if you're Xbox fans, you got a home to come to and come kick it with them, man. Some very good folks over there. We all about the gaming. We're all about putting in the work. You'll catch me doing live debuts, especially on games that I feel like need to be represented. That's my way of giving back. So I'm gonna be putting game footage on my channel. Me and Resident Gamer got something cooking for y'all as well. I'm looking forward to playing Towerborn with my man Realist or anybody else that's willing to play some co-op with me from the group. I'm also looking to finish Assassin's Creed Shadows live and direct. It's just all about gaming here, y'all. We were once again very tired, but we're amping up the way we're doing our shows. We're all about now the value of Xbox. We are excited about the future of Xbox. This generation has played itself on down. We're turning down the notch. We're more excited about what's going to happen. So we're all about the 25th anniversary. We want to see what's in store that year. We want to make it to see that. The 25th anniversary year is going to be one for the ages. 2025 is about hostile third-party takeover with a few exclusives for the console. 2026 should be all about the Xbox fans, man. I want to see something so galactic that is just gonna make people run over there. Look, and Xbox is setting that up. I gotta give respect. Let's give a shout out to the Xbox team, man. The team is doing some incredible things. They're working hard. You can see it. They're cooking. All these games that are coming out, we don't have no time for them. And all it's doing is just keeping the conversation fresh about Xbox. That is a beautiful marketing strategy. Whoever has figured it out, thank you, because we've been waiting for somebody who took Xbox baton and is really doing great things for it. It's about damn time. Remember, y'all, we come here to do one thing and one thing only, even though we might be tired as hell. And that's to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help us gaming. Don't ever let nobody take that chain from you, man. I better not catch any of y'all Xbox fans out here tucking your chain. Don't be tucking your chain, man. This is all about gaming. You either gaming or you're not. It's all about showcasing, man. In the meantime, we're here to bring gaming back to the streets and streets back to the gaming. I go by the name of the new legal. This is the ultimate realist fortress, fortified, green emerald. Laser cannot penetrate this fortress. Lasers can't do nothing to this green emerald fortress called the Great Xbox Community. Thank y'all day in and day out for y'all support and energy. I love reading y'all's comments over there. I can't say enough about this great, awesome community. And we're about to get up out of here. I got a spaceship. Let's go pick up Realist while he's out there, man. We're gonna get him fired. We don't care. We're gonna pick him up. Then we're gonna go over to Canada resident, go pick up Spot 117. And then I don't know, man. Let's go to man, let's
New York and get games.
Let's go to New York, get games, and then let's go to Barbados, man. I was thinking about Belize, but we're gonna go down to Barbados, man. We're gonna try to find some Rihannas down there. And then if we can't find no Rihannas, then we're gonna go to Belize, man. Let's do it, y'all. In the meantime, y'all stay blessed out there, man. Stay safe until I see y'all again. Peace. We are out.